So there's a major update when it comes to YouTube ads. So responsive ads are now mandatory, and so is video partners on display, right? So this is a pretty big deal when it comes to running YouTube ads, because both of these options used to be optional and now they've become mandatory, so you have no option here. Now, before we get into this video and what it means, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you get notified when I come out with the next video. So guys, what this means is that responsive ads are becoming mandatory. No, this doesn't mean in-stream YouTube ads are going away. What it does mean is that the new video discovery format is actually going to be running with in-stream, and you don't have the option to choose which one is going to be delivered, right? So what this means is that when YouTube shows ads to your audiences, you're essentially not going to have the ability to choose in-stream or video discovery. So I'm going to actually show you how to keep running ads on in-stream and also exclude video partners on display for the time being. So make sure to watch till the end of the video where I actually show you how to do that. Now let's get into what this means and what this looks like. So when you now create a new campaign, you'll click and you'll basically create a new video campaign. Let's say you go on Drive Conversions, which is target CPA and Maximus conversions, which is what you want to be doing. You'll go in here and you'll notice a few things, right? First is that if you scroll down here, video partners on the display network is no longer an uncheckable option, right? So you can no longer uncheck that. The second thing you'll notice is when you create your video ad, so let me just pull up a YouTube URL, just any random URL. So, okay, so let's look at this, right? So we put our video ad URL in here, right? And what you're going to be seeing is now this looks completely different. So you have all of this right here, right? All of this additional copy. So you have this long headline and the description, which you don't really have with in-stream ads. Now you still have in-stream ads and they're still going to be delivered, but then you're also going to have video discovery ads. And then you're also going to have Google Video Partners, as that's going to also be something that's not optional. So a few things to understand here is, number one, there's a lot more copy here, right? So there's this long headline right here. So if you, for example, put in how to learn YouTube ads really well in 2021. Okay, so you can see this headline can be really, really long. Same thing with the description. The description's way longer. So you can see that I can keep going, and yeah, this is going to all show. So this is really an interesting thing that's going on there, where you have a lot more copy and it's just not the video, right? And if, for example, in-stream is still the same kind of format, but you just have to understand that with the video discovery ads, it's going to change things up quite a bit. Now, what does this mean for performance? So we were actually getting some pretty good results with responsive ads. So I'm going to actually show you an example. So this is essentially a live webinar account, right? And so we're paused because of the fact that I think there's payment method needed. But essentially, if we go in here, we're going to go in by cost per opt-in. And we scroll down. As you can see, we've touched a massive number of audiences. We look at this one right here. We're getting a $3, sub $4 leads, which is pretty much insane. This is in the US market, right? You can see it's in US. This is for Make Money Only online offer. We're getting a $3.36 cost per lead. If we click on the actual campaign, you can see we have video action campaign here, which is basically the responsive campaign. And you can see the cost per conversion is ridiculously low, right? So responsive video ads do work. It's not the end of the world that it's basically not optional anymore, but you do just have to understand how to play with it. Now, here's something you have to understand. Yes, this is less control, but really the way these ad platforms are going is the creative is becoming more and more important, your copy is becoming more and more important, and the actual optimization and the algorithm side is being taken over by these ad platforms. And as you can see in that ad account, you can see that we're doing really well with these new responsive ads. So it's not really all doom and gloom. Keep in mind also that what we've seen up till now is that Google usually will spend on whatever's getting the cheapest conversions to get that target CPA goal, especially if you're using target CPA. That's something really, really important to keep in mind, is that the algorithm is still going to optimize for lowest cost per conversion. And overall, I think what we'll see is actually cost remaining the same or maybe going up slightly, but I don't see this as being the end of the world. Now, how do you do these in-stream responsive ads properly? So as I kind of mentioned here, right, if we really look at that ad format and we really look at how it's set up, you can see the copy is really important. So what you want to be doing is really optimizing your long headline and the description right here, right? One of the important pieces here is actually split testing different ads in terms of just the headline and the description. So usually you would just be testing the video ad, right? But in this case, you actually want to be split testing different headlines and different descriptions. Because of the fact that there's a lot more copy, you'll find that some of these headlines and descriptions are going to do better. So copywriting is going to be a big part of this. And like I said, there's still a way to run normal in-stream campaigns and also exclude video partners on display, which I'm going to get to at the end of the video. Now, the other big key change that's also happened that you guys also saw is video partners on display is compulsory. Now, what that means is your ads are going to show up on basically Google's video partners, right? Third-party websites, right? Like you might show up on CNN, you might show up on other random websites. And the fact is, in the past, I've not had great results with Google Video Partners. Honestly, I'm not really that excited for this change. However, like I said, we are going to continue running without Google Video Partners. And there's two ways of that, right? So the first way you can keep running your old campaigns just the way they used to run is actually just go find an old campaign, rename it, right? So say that, you know, for example, over here, we'll say it's like relaunch and be like, put the date in here and then maybe change the audience if you want to change the audience, but you're essentially going to have that old campaign, that old shell where you have that basically with this campaign, there's no video partners for display, right? So Google isn't forcing old campaigns to switch over yet. As you can see, we have the option of still doing YouTube videos, and in the ad level, it's just in-stream. These are all in-stream ads, right? You can still do that by just reusing old campaigns. Just make sure the naming convention is done properly. Make sure that you have named them properly so you know that, hey, I started this new campaign on this day reusing this old shell, and you know that because that will allow you to measure the data properly, right? Because if you go lifetime on this, you're going to have this old data, and let's say if you change the audience on this, you're not going to have valid data, right? So essentially you want to know the day you changed it. And another cool tool is a lot of these campaigns you can also put notes on the account level, so you can actually go here and add note, right? And even on the campaign level, if you go in here, you can add a note. So you can put in a note for this campaign saying that, hey, this is what we did on this day. That's how you can keep doing that. Now, the second way you can do this is Google Ads Editor. So Google Ads Editor is still allowing me to duplicate campaigns. So when I try to duplicate a campaign by copying and pasting it in here, so I'll just show you what happens. So you can see here that it forces you to basically change the responsive and also show on Google Video Partners on display. Now, if you go on here on Google Ads Editor, what you can actually do is you can copy and paste campaigns in here and you won't have the same issues. Again, I have a training on Google Ads Editor in my training program if you want to learn how to use it. But over here, when we dupe campaigns, we're still able to dupe them without being forced to switch over to the new formats. So yeah, guys, I don't know how long those will last, maybe a couple of months, but just a heads up, I would highly encourage to start testing out responsive and really start mastering it. But for those of you who want to keep using those old ad formats or keep your winners, those are a couple of ways you can do that. Now, guys, I hope that video was useful. Again, it was kind of rushed. I basically just had to throw that video out there because this change just happened, and I just wanted to make sure you guys got that data first. If you like this video, hit the notification bell and subscribe. And guys, if you are running YouTube ads and you want this kind of information the day it happens and you want expert advice on how to deal with it, go check out my coaching program. There'll be a link below to check it out, where you get expert guidance from me and my senior media buyers and my whole team on how to run your YouTube ad campaigns. And you get a whole training program on how to run these campaigns successfully. So guys, hopefully that video was useful. I will see you around.